On a sunny day, in the lab far away, two scientists dreamt up a wild plan. Andres and Alan, with their heads up high, they built a Dino API. Oh my! With Neon, the serverless Postgres on the run. They tamed the dinosaurs just for fun. Creating endpoints for pause, tails and scales. Dino data at everyone's fingertips never fails.
Seriously, I have watched that video like 12 times at least, and I've laughed every single time.
Same. I feel like we're gonna have to start acting those out or something. Just
like the only way to improve them is to act them out ourselves.
Yep.
I think that'll take a little bit longer than the amount of time that it already takes me to make those.
Yep. Oh, welcome everybody.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us. We're trying a new format. The Believe in Serverless community, we're just going through the scientific method. You know, we're computer scientists, so we can say that. So we've done Zoom, we've done Discord, and now we're gonna try what is this? We're doing StreamYard, so we're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch for that matter. I know it's going to the Believe in Serverless Twitch, which is new as of today that I made. It's going to mine, which is not new but has 0 videos on it. So this is actually number 1 for that. And then it's also going to YouTube on the Believe in Serverless YouTube channel. So that's pretty chill. Pretty cool. Are we streaming on anything that you own, Andres?
I'm trying Twitch. We'll see. I have no followers there, but let's see. I'll check later if it actually sent it there.
It's kind of like the first time you write a blog post, though. It's, you know, you're really just writing it for yourself. So we're just streaming for ourselves right now.
Yeah, I'll watch myself 10 times. That's fine.
Kind of like when I watched that video that we just played.
Yep.
I just seriously just sit here cracking up, watching it over and over.
Sam says it felt like I was watching a Disney musical. It's great.
Yeah, it was pretty good. You guys, Andres, do you like my hat?
I love it. It actually makes you look like a punk rocker.
Yeah,
but
that with the headphones, I feel like it does. I agree.
Any big plugs and
there we go. Yeah, with the big plugs. Yes. Yeah, I asked my 3-year-old to make this for me, but you can see the precision of these spikes. She did not make it. No, someone 30 years older than her made it.
Yeah, you can see a T-Rex made an appearance here, whatever this is called, and Lil Mo is right behind me.
Yeah.
Lil Mo is protecting me.
That's good. We had a discussion yesterday on the live stream that Quadra was doing, who would win in a fight to the death, a squirrel or a bear. And honestly, I don't think that's like, why was that even a discussion? Like, there's no way that a bear would win. There's just no way. I didn't catch it. Anyway, so why don't you tell everybody what we're going to be walking through today, Andres?
Cool. So Neon just went GA this week. It's a Postgres serverless database. So we decided to take it for a ride. And what are we going to do? Obviously something related to dinosaurs. So we're gonna create a database, populate it with dinosaur data, and we're gonna build an API around it so that we can do stuff with it. So that's the high level summary. Yeah. Let me check something real quick and we can be good to go. Okay. Let's start.
Good to go? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I got the dinosaur data from a website called like Craggle. First time I've used that site. Apparently it's a website for data scientists. I can't claim that it has every dinosaur in it in this data set, because I genuinely don't know how many that is. But it has a lot. It has a decent amount of dinosaurs. And then it's been a long time since I've done data normalization in SQL. So I asked ChatGPT to normalize the data set into different Postgres tables. So that's where we're starting, right? And so I think we delegated to you the responsible party for walking us through the Neon experience and ingesting data.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Okay. Let's bring you up.
Cool. So this is Neon, the Neon console. You can see there's a free tier. I obviously set up an account. I logged in with GitHub. Super simple to set up the account, and you're all set. Right. So what we start
And this
here.
I'm sorry. This is the web. This is a browser that you're sharing.
Yes. Yeah. I guess you can't see the address bar. I'm on Chrome. This is on the web. So it's pretty nice, pretty simple to set up. So once we're here, we can see, hey, you're on the free tier, single read write compute that automatically scales to 0 after 5 minutes of inactivity, right? So kind of evaluating the serverless aspects of this, it's there, it turns off. But what do you think, Alan?
I don't know. That's an interesting one. What I'm actually more interested in is how quickly it's spec and available. Like I get the scale like turning off after a certain amount of time. That's fine, especially if I'm not paying for that uptime.
Is it immediately available? And we can dig into the docs in a bit, see how that pans out.
And we can also just test it directly. Hey, do you have the pricing page available for Neon? Is that something that you have access to?
Let me see, Neon pricing. I'm on a new tab, so I'll switch it.
Because it is listed, like it's advertised as a serverless Postgres service, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So
I know that answer. Yes. I was on that website. Who knows how many times this week? Okay. And so, okay, can you zoom in a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. So.
Yeah, so we got where I'm at, $0 a month. It's fixed capacity. We're at limited data, right? Half a gig.
Mm-hmm.
The next tier, $19 a month. Doesn't seem that hefty. If you're used to running SQL Server, definitely super cheap compared to that. It auto scales, instant read replica, so that's probably good. So it's instantly available to read. That's nice. It's good that they have via marketplace. I know that's a limitation sometimes.
Yeah, having that is actually it really helps a lot when it comes to adoption rate. Like the new vendor vetting process for a lot of companies is really, really difficult to get approval for third-party vendors, but it helps drastically when it's available inside of AWS. It hardly feels like a new vendor because it goes in and gets rolled up. The costs get rolled up in your AWS bill. That's
and it helps
usually a big
for
enabler.
Like big org budgeting, right? Usually if you're working with AWS already, you have a big partnership with some spend in AWS and all that. So you can bundle up that in your AWS spend when it goes through the marketplace, I believe. So that also helps bigger orgs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And obviously we got the last option, which is call us and we'll figure it out.
It's normal, but
yeah.
This like the pricing plans here don't feel serverless to me. A lot of people, you and I gave a session for Believe in Serverless. Like it was like the second one ever, talking about what serverless means. And one of them was pay for what you use. And these don't really look like that.
That's true.
Especially when, like, I don't even know. Can you click on compute hours? What does that mean? What's a compute hour? Compute hour is the metric for compute usage in Neon. The quick math, compute hours equals compute size times hours your compute runs. Each pricing plan includes a certain number of compute hours. How quickly you consume these hours depends on the size of your compute and how long it runs. I feel like it's saying the same thing over and over, which is fine. Once you exceed the allocated amount of compute hours, you'll be billed for overages in a given month. Okay.
It's like a phone plan, kind of. Doesn't say is it priced at the same rate, or do you get like AT&T and then you'll get charged a ton of money?
Yep.
Interesting.
There's a lot. Okay, this is the FAQ for the pricing. Okay.
Yeah. So plan comparisons.
I want to see like if they have pricing metrics that feel serverless. Like, can I just do the free tier? A lot of times when you see tiers like this for something that's touted as serverless, really what you're paying for is support. It's the general support tiers that you're paying $19 a month for, $69 a month for. So I'm curious if it has at the bottom like how much a compute hour costs, how much it costs for a gigabyte of storage. Does it have that down at the bottom? Maybe in the FAQ. Let's go all the way down. We might have to look at the docs later.
Yep.
How is storage? Storage. Expand the one that says how is storage charged in Neon. I'm actually curious about that one. It's the third from the bottom. Neon implements a unique storage engine that enables database branching on copy on write. Database branching on gosh, I said it twice and I still don't understand. Without duplicate storage.
Copies without adding to. So the cool thing, and we'll dig into the branching thing, but it seems like if you branch 10 times, it's not going to duplicate your storage cost, which is interesting. Database history says of storage from Neon.
So Sam is helping us out. He said that each plan has a different rate for storage. Ugh. I guess that's good. I guess that I would almost consider that like a volume discount when we're talking about paying more.
Yep. Notifications. Yeah, I'll keep this one open. Cool. It's interesting. So how do you feel around the serverless flag there?
So I am going to I'm going to hold a Switzerland right now, and I am going to say I'm not going to make a judgment yet. So right now we're going to say it's kind of serverless. I'm not going to say it's definitely not. It definitely doesn't pass all the tests right now on my first impression, but I'm also going to give it the benefit of the doubt and not say no at this point in time. So we're going to leave it at kind of. What do you think?
Yeah, it definitely feels more serverless than other RDBMS offerings, right? So there's definitely a very different approach here, but is it true serverless? Debatable there.
Yeah. I'm of the strong opinion that serverless is, it's a set of capabilities. That's really what that whole thing is. Ready to use right off the bat. No instances. You're not creating anything. Everything baked in by default, and then you don't have to worry about scaling and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so let's stop our tangent and go back to what we were supposed to be doing.
What is this? So I'm going to be creating the project. I'm going to call it Dinoland. Right now in the free tier, it allows you to do one free project. So there it is. And I'm going to, nice. I like the music, Alan. So Dino API, let's just call it Dino DB. So pretty simple setup. I haven't actually explored, but just like Git. So they claim the branching strategies for databases or database data. So you can change the branch and they defaulted to main, which is cool. I hadn't expanded this yet. And you can select a version of Postgres. So I'll just do 16.
Might as well do the latest, right?
Yeah. Why start in the old stuff? Cool.
Couldn't even tell you how to write a Postgres query. Is it just regular
It's-
SQL?
It is.
It is? Okay, I can do that.
I,
I remember.
I struggle because I haven't done SQL queries in a while. So I had to, while looking into this, I did Google some queries. So
Okay.
you can get a sense of my SQL abilities right now.
Oh gosh, especially if you call it that, you're really gonna set a good bar. I remember the very first time I had ever opened SQL Server Management Studio. Had the architect on my team standing over my shoulder. This was like, I don't know, maybe a week on the first job that I had straight out of college. I didn't take any database classes in college. It wasn't required. And he said, click on new query. So I clicked on new query inside of SQL Server Management Studio. And he says, okay, select star from, and he paused. And I'm looking at the screen and I'm looking for literally anything that says select or star. And I was like, what do you mean? What? Select star from what am I supposed to be clicking on? And he's like, no. And then at that point, the horror sinks in on his face. It's like, what have I done? I just hired this guy and he said a SQL query and he had no idea what that meant. It's not my proudest moment. I'll say that. Okay, so
Okay, we got a connection. Assuming this is the way you connect with Postgres. Again, I'll make this clear. Neither Alan or I have ever worked with Postgres before. So it should be fun. We work with SQL, but 5, 6, how many years ago, Alan? Since we made the move to the cloud and DynamoDB mostly?
I assume it's going to be like riding a bike. I mean, I have, 8 years of experience doing that as like a serious part of the day job.
Yep.
We'll see.
So you can create a pull connection. I'm not going to do that. So I copied this connection string. See what other options it gives me. Okay, it gives me it didn't expose the password. Cool. Okay. So I'll do the PSQL. You can do get the next node. I'll probably send you the node, Alan.
Yeah.
We get that.
Is that using their? Oh, nice.
Sweet. I hadn't seen this. Okay.
Actually, you know what? I am kind of surprised that this code, it's just using Postgres. There's not like a Neon SDK.
Yeah, it's so what I saw. There's a Neon CLI. It's Neon CTL, Neon Cuddle, I guess, Neon Control, and then there's Postgres. So you're dealing still directly with Postgres, it seems, while doing stuff from your terminal and whatnot, as well as within the code. Do you want this? I can send it to you, Alan.
Yeah, don't we have a live session up in VS Code already? Just paste that in there.
Oh, that's true. People are not going to see that in the screen.
Not yet, but we don't need to be there yet. So let's go. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So you got to here because you just created a new project, right? It was a new project. And then
new project. I created the database and now it gave me the connection strings. And now it's giving me all these examples of how I can connect to the Neon Postgres database.
That's really nice. I like it when companies do that.
So there's several. The tool I installed in preparation for this is PSQL. Well, I guess it's just Postgres as well, but I just have the CLI. So I got this connection string. Oh, the environment.
Before you close this, I want to see there was an option at the very bottom that said serverless driver.
Neon serverless driver. Okay, so they have. Ooh, okay, I'll send you that.
This is what I want to use. I want to use this one.
Yeah, I'll get that one.
I'm gonna. So okay.
There. I just broke a linting and everything. It's fine. And there's WebSockets. Okay, I'll send this too. We'll see how we use these, but just to have them at hand. I'm assuming we can bring them up again at some point.
Yep.
So HTTP, WebSockets.
Did you choose a region?
It's US East. one.
I can see that in the connection string. That's why I was asking. I didn't know if you chose that or if that was just like an implementation detail that we stumbled on.
So, question here: do you think it's going to expose the password on the .env?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
So,
I thought. Oh no, it isn't. It isn't. Okay, there we are.
oh, nice.
So I'm just copying it, and I'm going to paste it so you can put it in an env file in the background, Alan, with the password. Cool. They're protecting us.
That is nice, and that's good. Like, here's a question from Sam: is this a public-facing database? I think so. I think that's like the nature of this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's there. I mean, to connect, you need the password, but it would be. I'm assuming you would be able, if you find the host and the database, you would be able to do some stuff. I do, and we'll get back to your question because I think there's some stuff. Connection string. Okay, so let me just copy this one. A storage vault. So they're really making emphasis on security here, and that's nice. I actually like that a lot. So I'll do this later. So this is the dashboard. Yeah, it's the dashboard.
So that has usage metrics in here.
Yeah, I was looking at that yesterday. So there's monitoring as well, I guess, to see your CPU and all that. If I go back in the billing, you see how much you've used of your free tier, or maybe if you're in the paid tier, it seems to have more information there. You can see how many branches, which very interesting topic. We'll play around with that. But here, if I go to billing, here's the usage.
Nice. It's built into here. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. But I'll go back to projects, Dinoland. When I created the project, Alan, it lets you choose which region. I did not see which ones it gives you the ability to select. But obviously I chose the most stable region in the world. It's US East 1.
Well, it's definitely the most used region in the world. So.
And you have your primary branch, and this is idle, I guess, since we haven't done any reads.
Okay, so that means that we'll get a cold start whenever we hit it for the first time. I like that status on there. It doesn't feel serverless to me, honestly. Just having a status like that, like an uptime status or like a up status, fine.
So we already have data.
Oh, you've already loaded the data in here?
No, but we already have consumed something. Cool. So first step I want to do is create the tables, right? And as Alan mentioned, we used AI to generate some to get data, and then we got the queries to generate the tables, or the commands to generate the tables. One cool thing we have here is the SQL editor right in line. It keeps a history per project. That's what I saw while playing around with this. So I'm not going to go with the basic. You can save queries here. So it's kind of like your SQL Management Studio or equivalent of whatever you use. So I do.
In AWS, have you used Glue before?
I have not.
Or I guess it's not Glue, it's Athena. Reminds me of that.
Okay, yeah, a little bit. So I'm going to copy, and we'll just talk about the commands. How does this look on the share, Alan? Okay.
Yeah, it's a okay size.
So we're creating a period table for the time period they lived and their location, taxonomy, naming, species, and the actual dinosaur with all the references, right? So we can see if you're a Postgres user, this should be your normal stuff. I could run this from a terminal on my machine or just directly here. This I'm just going to do here directly. You can see it identified 6 queries. I wonder what the explain does. It's detecting a syntax error, but this actually worked. So
let's run it.
Yeah, so I'm just going to run it. Because the query completed, right? And here it's kind of the 6 queries it identified. We can go, if it was 6 selects will get them all here and see the results for each of those.
That's nice.
Wonder
It also
what the
has
analyze, it's just
the milliseconds it took for each one of those, which I assume all those add up to those compute hours.
So let's go back to the dashboard and see what happened here, right? I'm not sure if how immediate.
At a CloudWatch it lagged.
Yeah, so we'll wait a second.
These are also what we're doing: control plane operations versus data plane. So we're creating tables. We're not mucking around with data like fetching and adding in there. So it probably wouldn't show up in there.
So yeah, let me go back. Okay, so I got the dashboard open. So if I go to tables, we should see these, right? Yeah. So here they are. Dinosaurs queried while I click this. So be careful with that if you're in the free tier and you introduce the big table. Cool. So we have all the tables here that we defined. And an interesting thing here, right? You can see it's main. It just feels very GitHub-like that there's kind of branches here. And I think I don't know if the main selling point around this as well, other than the pricing serverless-y kind of thing. So
these are data branches. It's not code branches, it's data branches. Data. So you can fork the data as it exists, run your ETL jobs on it to make sure that it works and actually do something with that. That's pretty neat.
So let's do that. I mean, let's do a branch. And that's where I'm going to load the data, right? So we have the tables there. Let's create a branch and let's just call it and more dev. I'm already signed in. Leave me alone. So just like when you're creating a GitHub branch or a Git branch, it's from where this is the parent, which is the primary. And I'm creating one called, let's just call it Dinoland and dev. And you can select a specific point in time. So that's interesting too, right? I want last month's data or just right now. So let's just do current point in time. A read write will be created to connect to this branch from any client. Okay.
A read write compute. I feel like there's a word missing there.
With size 0.25 will be created.
Does that mean that it is halving the capacity units from the main branch to support this one?
It seems like it, because what do we have on the main? I mean, no, this is read.
Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it is just
a new one. Cool. Okay. And they mentioned, right, they have GitHub Actions. They build, you can call the API directly, or like I mentioned, Neon CTL. So I could have created the branch from the terminal. But
I like that they have a GitHub action for this, because that means you could run really good CI tests on your data.
So you remember most of our issues with CI/CD and running automated tests on like contract tests and all that was seeding data for it to actually work. And we had manual steps to make calls to seed the data. You can just have one branch pre-seeded that you either branch off of for your CI/CD and then kill at the end. So you can even run this on a production level thing, but you're not affecting the real data because you're branching out the data. So that's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could even have a branch that has just your test data in it and then branch off of that one every time a GitHub workflow runs.
Or even trying to reproduce an issue with client data, but you don't want to affect their real data. You branch out of their data and then just start working out of it. I don't know how compliant that would be, so don't quote me on that yet, but depend on your compliance needs. You might be able to do that or not.
I need to get like an approve button that we can put on this show that just puts like a big check mark or a thumbs up right in the middle of the screen, because that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I really like that a lot. A lot of value to
that. I did not read this. As always, Alan, we never read the docs and we'll be complaining after 7 days. Where did my data go?
Yep.
It will not increase storage until you start making, or it ages past your history retention window, 7 days. So nothing affects the parent. Cool. So I'm going to create this branch. gives me another set of connection strings. So I think before we start actually building the API, we'll build it off of main, the things I already sent. So we'll see a little bit of this. So I'll copy this and I'll try to not expose my API key. I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to run on a terminal here, PowerShell, and I'm going to connect to this, and hopefully I can hide it somehow. Maybe not, because it's going to expose the... We'll just go with it. So now...
What are we doing right now?
I was creating the connection in a terminal to see if I could not expose the secret, but we'll flow with it. So I'll switch the screen to the terminal. Well, we're now just going to use PSQL to seed the data that we have in CSV files. So let me just show a little bit of the docs here that I was navigating. Wrong window. So Neon import CSV data. So they have different ways to import. I'm assuming these are standard Postgres ways to import, but since I haven't used it, I don't know who is it from. But it seems this copy thing from CSV seems to be standard Postgres thing, which is pretty cool. It just does it if you have the right delimiters and titles and your things. It just works. They have multiple imports. It was just from Postgres, from a Neon project, CSV, Heroku, AWS DMS, and from MySQL. So that's cool. Or just sample data. What we're going to use is CSVs that I already have locally. So I'll switch it to that. Let me stop this screen. Share my window. Here it is, PowerShell. And non-Windows users, I'm sorry, but I'm a Windows user, so this
Do you know how to... Okay, there you go.
Is that good enough? Cool.
Yeah.
So again, so we don't spend the whole session trying to figure out how to get data in there. We have the files with the CSV, and like I said, it's pretty simple. So right now I'm importing the species. So it's just copy to the species table from the CSV. And I wish I had known what this does, but I didn't research that. So we'll just go with it. The delimiter is a comma, and the CSV header thing, I don't know what that means, but it just works.
That means that the CSV file has a header row.
Okay, that's simple enough. So here we copied 309 records into that database, and I'll just keep going, right? So we'll go back to the console in a bit. So now I did taxonomy. We have period, 154. Naming.
This is fast.
Okay. Yeah. And the actual dinosaurs, we have 309.
Yeah, so that's definitely not an exhaustive set of dinosaurs. There's just no way. I don't know enough about dinosaurs to say with 100% certainty, but I'm like 98% sure there were more dinosaurs.
Just know there's two. I don't know more. Okay, let me switch back to Neon so we can see the data actually there.
I want to see the usage metrics on this one, because you just put in, I mean, I can't say it's a ton of data, but you did just put in a decent amount. You know, it was over 1,000 records across seven tables. So let's take a look at that.
So yeah, I'll go back here. So this has its own thing. I guess you can track this. I'm refreshing. Wow, that looked terrible. So the parent active time, very minimal. It doesn't show anything yet. Then down here,
it might be lagging a little bit.
Yeah, but we still don't see anything.
Oh, there's data points. I saw them.
Ooh.
Hey.
So we got RAM 122, vCPU 0.01, allocated 0.25. Can I do like a close-up? No.
You can't like drag over that?
Oh, I guess on this view we could. Let's see. Nope. I'm used to, but okay.
Okay,
So you got the low spike. Yeah, and I guess this is the data. Allocated versus used. So allocated is the black bar there, and then the blue is our usage. Cool.
Well, that's
Buffer. Okay, so there it has a cache, I guess, built in. And active connection counts. I guess that's me. 12:26, 10 minutes ago from the terminal. Cool. So how many rows? Look at that. Okay. Inserted, updated. I don't know where the update is coming from because I have not. Okay. Let's keep going. So now if I go, let's go to tables and main, right? So if I click on dinosaurs, we don't have any data. But if I switch the branch to dev, there we have it.
So Dinosaurus.
Ardenix, herbivorous. So now we could actually write queries. I'm assuming you can select the branch. Yeah, so the branch is here. So if is there a new query? Yeah. So if I do it, so I'm not going to do the all caps. Select all from dinosaurs. I have to pronounce it because I always spell it wrong. So here it is, right? Just your standard SQL. We could even do, let's see if I don't mess this up. Inner join species on dinosaurs.species ID. Is that the one thing I saw yesterday? Is there's no easy way. I can't actually go to the right, so I have to do
IntelliSense would have been very nice here.
It has some, but it doesn't. Right, so you can see it. It recommends based on what you already have. So species dot species ID. So there it is. But it's because I already had this.
Yeah, it did say local where it was coming from.
Let's see if this one explains it. Oh, okay.
As interesting as that is, I actually want to point out that Mark looked it up, and there were 700 known species of extinct dinosaurs.
Oh, wow.
It's interesting that it says extinct.
Are there non-extinct dinosaurs, Mark?
Big crocodile, I guess. I mean, if you believe. Hey, so I can't really read that. Can you zoom in?
This is. So it's looking at the inner join, both tables that it join, and I guess finds relevant records by sequential scanning. So it's just explaining all the stuff it does.
Okay, cool. It's the execution plan.
The cost.
Interesting. How much
gives you
cost?
Is that cents? Dollars? That's scary.
But I hope that was not a $7.09 cost.
Query.
Yeah.
So I clicked, this was explained. There's raw data, so you could process this. However, if you're a database guru, you can probably do a lot of stuff with this. I am definitely not close to being one, so I don't know really how to read this, but there's a lot of information here that you could use. Let's try the analyze. Was that the analyze? Explain and analyze seem to be doing the same thing. So we'll have to figure out what the difference is. So, but now if I run it, we get that and the species. So we can do dinosaurs.name, comma, species dot species name, I think is the, yeah, IntelliSense would be great, but we got it has the schema, so it should be able to provide some sort of IntelliSense. So we got here, right? I'm going to blame ESL here. I can't pronounce any of these.
Oh, no. Even if English is your first language, those are so hard to say.
Kilobator. He's gigantic.
Nice
He's
choice.
Gigantus.
I just love that one.
Cool. So we have them all here. Let's see the operations piece. I guess this is kind of like a cloud trail kind of thing. What has happened in your project around the database? Not so much queries, it seems. So you can see when it suspended the compute. Cool. Let's look at the dashboard now that we ran some queries. And you can see here's the history of all that I've done. So that's cool. But I'm going to just trigger this a few more times. Hopefully I don't run out of free storage or compute or anything. But if I go to dashboard, let's go to the full monitoring.
Yeah, if those were immediately available, I would be like extremely impressed. I mean, it's pretty near real time, but not. How far are we lagging behind? 2 minutes?
Probably.
That's not bad.
The blue is okay, updated. Database size. This is going to stay relatively flat for the rest of this.
It does seem to be running update operations every time, and I'm wondering if it's trying to update some sort of like metrics or analytics tables that we can't see.
That might be. Those should probably be excluded from your metrics because those are not. They shouldn't be charged to me if that's the case. Because that's operational for Neon. It's part of the subscription price, I guess. So the main is idle. This one's active. So now I wonder, and I haven't tried this, but can you just merge branches?
You can set it as the primary? I don't know. That doesn't seem like the right command, though.
Rename, set as protected. What is this? You reach your limit for protected. I guess this one's protected. Yeah. Kind of like it. You want to protect your main branch.
Yeah.
But I would
Reset
think
parent, that's
it's the other way around, right? I want to, let's see, open this. I don't want to create a branch.
Go to the dev branch from in here. Let's look at the detail view. This is where I would expect it to show up under more.
It's the same thing.
Compare to parent. What happens if you do compare?
Oh, okay, like a pull request.
Yeah. Schemas are in sync. Click on compare. Let's see if that does anything. No.
I guess if you change this, then compare.
Well, it's not comparing the data. It's comparing the database.
It's schemas. Okay. Interesting. So I'll go back to the main and populate that one. We haven't changed the schema, so we'll just ignore this branch. I thought you would be able to merge the data from the branch. That would be cool. But it's weird now that I think about it. So
it looks like what it's done. This is just complete speculation. It has a table for compute. I really don't like saying it like that. This sounds silly. Go to your branch.
My branch dev.
And if I had to guess, my guess is that is a no. Don't look at the data. We were just looking and comparing the branches. Go back to the branch.
Oh, yeah. I see.
And then click on dev.
Here.
Yeah. So you see computes down there. I'm guessing that's some sort of EC2 instance under the covers.
Oh,
like,
wow.
What happens if you click connect? What is that going to do? Oh, it shows the connection details.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong on that one.
Okay, you have roles. What is this? Okay. I want to just do something very quick, and I'm just going to copy this, create table, and I'm on the dev branch, so I'm going to do a new, and let's just do 2, right? Just to see a comparison on the branch comparison.
Sure.
Run. Query completed. We should see, maybe not.
This is what you call eventually consistent right there. Well, I don't know. No, you're looking at the main branch.
Good catch. Okay, so here it is, period 2. So now if I go here, how did we compare?
You went into the, yeah, there you go.
Compared to parent. Let's see what it shows here.
Yeah. It shows the change script.
Look at this sequence.
What would you do with this? Anybody who's Anybody who knows that's watching, can you please tell us what you would do with this? It looks like it's a handoff to you. Like to me, this looks like a change script that it says, here you go, run this, and you're going to be up to the latest with your destination branch.
But yeah, you can't. Yeah, what we saw, you can't merge back up, right? Even the schemas. So you can
right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this is the handoff. This is the part where I'm not going to do it for you anymore. You're on your own. Here's my best effort.
More. Yeah. Okay.
I wonder if you put data. Nah, I don't want to do that. Never mind.
Okay. So let me populate the main branch. We'll have data, and we can start hooking it up with SDKs. Do you want to keep navigating a little bit more here, or want to play around with the SDK?
No, I feel pretty good. If there's anybody watching that wants to see something else specifically, speak now. Otherwise, we're going to go and actually build an API.
Cool. So let me get this connection, and I'll populate. I'll do this in the background and keep track if there's any questions of anything someone wants to see, Alan. PSQL. So let's see if it remembers my commands. Ooh, nice. Okay. 1, 2. It doesn't remember anymore. Period. Naming. Location and dinosaurs. So now from main, if I go and query here, I'm on the primary and do this query from primary, we should have some data now. Cool. So main is populated now, Alan.
Okay, great. So we're good to go then for actually trying to see if we can get it to work.
Yes. From the SDK, right? We know it works within their console, and there it is. So now let's play around with the SDK. There's CLI, so we can actually try that too. Let me open the live share. Can you see me there? Yeah.
Yeah. So it looked like there's 2 things pasted in here. I don't know.
You're exposing my secret, Alan.
What am I? Why were there environment variables then? That's annoying.
Yeah, that's
okay. Sorry, been exposed several times.
That is weird. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is what I sent to Alan based on the kind of the connection strings that it gave us. So there was the serverless option, which seems to be a Neon database npm package for serverless, and then there was the other one, which was just the plain Postgres package, right, Alan?
Yeah. Yes, I put that one. I put the regular Postgres package in a different file because I want to use this SDK.
Cool.
So 2 methods here then that we can use. Both look like they're ripe for SQL injection. So why not, right?
Nobody. I mean, who needs SQL injection when you have the direct access to the database? It's fine.
Fair enough. Okay. Do you have a preference for which way?
So these 2 options it gave you?
These are the 2 options that it gave. One is it feels much more raw, and then this one, I don't even know what the word would be.
Not raw. Okay. I like
defined process. I don't know. Let's run it.
Well, but we don't have a pool, right? We did not create a connection pool, so that wouldn't work. So I think it's the first one we need.
Okay. Let's see if this works.
Okay.
Node API. That did not work. Can't use import statement. Okay.
Make it MJS. Just make the file MJS. Don't go back in time, Alan. Let's make it ECMA. Well, no, but the Lambda function is probably going to be common.js. So let's just keep it. Do what you were doing. Do require.
I am just oh, there we go. This is what I was looking for.
And then it's just equal require. There you go.
Okay. Hopefully this will fail, I guess, slower than before. Okay.
Oh, this is not async.
That's fine. We're nothing if not flexible. We're engineers, right?
Yeah. We're used to fail. Don't you have to await the run?
No.
Ooh, look at that. There's a query.
It worked.
Almost at the first time. Look at that.
I'm going to count that as the first time.
Yeah.
I will, because it's the first time we actually were able to call the SDK. So that to me is good. Google.
Okay.
Let's filter that where just gonna have fun with it. Oh gosh, I don't remember the syntax for this. Is it? Or
It's like, I think it's like that. But as diet's not a. I don't think we have
column
that
name.
It is? Okay.
Well, I'm looking at it right here in the terminal.
Oh, there you go. Column. So where
And this is where the wheels fall off.
where we're actually trying to not use the generated code.
Oh, we're on our own. We have to write the code. Now it's all gonna fail. Okay, I just had to switch. It didn't like the double quote, so we switched to a single quote. Okay, so there are.
Jonathan has taken failing slower than before as his whole life motto now. So when the manager says fail fast, you're not gonna do that. Let's just fail slower than before.
Okay, let me do this real quick. Just so I can get this connection string off the screen.
It's fine. I mean, I'm on the free tier. The worst that can happen is someone gets in there and wastes all our CPU, and we can't keep going with the.
Okay, so let's do this then. Let's make it an API that we can run locally. Okay, and then let's set that up.
Yes. With good old Express.
Okay, and then we'll do. I love Code Whisperer so much. Okay.
So we're gonna get.
I'm trying to remember the syntax. I think it's curly brackets in Express.
We'll see.
Okay. So we will do. I guess I should move this out globally. And then we will
Parameterize it in a bit.
const dinosaur equals. Okay, so we have that. Now we're just going to do this.
I'm checking routing.
Posts equals. Await, select there where diet. No, not diet. It's name, right? Is that the name of our.
Let me check the field. It is just name. Yeah.
Okay. We'll do that. We will do some string interpolation, and then we will.
And yeah, we'll just accept the inputs from anybody. That's fine.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so we're gonna fetch that. I'm sure. Okay, here's what we'll do. Hopefully, limit is. Hopefully that works. Dinosaurs at 1. Actually, we'll do this so we can print it out. No, it's good. We'll just go for it. Okay.
It should be 0. right? Dinosaur 0? Or do you want it to
Yes,
intentionally fail?
yes, you're right. Yes.
Whew, close call.
So we'll do this. I see no reason why that wouldn't work.
Yay!
Okay. So what dinosaur? I guess we should just look up Triceratops. 'Cause that's the coolest one, right?
Of course. Try Sarah. How do you spell it? Tops. If you know how to spell Triceratops, you get a gold star. Triceratops. Cool. Nice.
All right, that was cannot get. That didn't work at all.
But that's, what did Michael say last week? That's just developer inability.
That's a skill issue. Yes.
Okay. Just hard code Triceratops right now on the path in the express.
Okay.
No. But it wouldn't take it as a parameter.
I'm looking at the docs right now. And I'm not seeing it in there. Where is it? You'd think that this, oh, there we go. Okay, it is with, okay. That's my bad. There we go. Okay, so we have NodeMon running, so it's live reloading, so we should be able to just hit it. Try Triceratops. Hey, look at that. That was quick.
And it's pretty quick, yeah.
Round trip 372. Now, granted, it's not making a call out. I mean, it is running the server locally, so we don't have the network time for that. But the round trip time
for the database.
Neon, I guess if I run this a couple of times, look at that. I guess it's cached. It must be cached because it went from 376 to 150, and then now all these are 50 milliseconds. 100 milliseconds, 51, 51.
I'm assuming.
I guess the cache expired. It must have a pretty low TTL.
I'm assuming people are connecting because we got 4 connections. And not just yours. There's mine. Let me kill mine. I can kill mine.
Okay, so that worked. That was cool. Let's do a join. Let's see how it performs when we do a join. So let's do, what should we do? What are the tables again? I think I have the ERD somewhere.
You had it in, yeah, mermaid.
Okay,
so we got species, taxonomy, naming. I don't know what even naming is. Oh, name by. Who named the dinosaurs? Look at that. Period.
Fascinating. Look up, can you fetch some of the data from like the species table so we can do that?
But what do you want? If you're going to join, you can join the dinosaur with the species ID.
Everything. Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah. Well, yeah, but when we actually go to test it is really what I wanted to see. What I need to be able to look up something.
Yeah. So I got the species here. So what do you want to get to? Which species was the Triceratops? Oh, okay. Species ID.
Okay. Here we go.
Curly.
That's pretty close. We'll start with that. Select star from dinosaurs. Inner join. Species, that's the name of the table?
Yes. Where's, you want to do it by name or by ID?
We're gonna do it by ID.
Do I have access to your Postman? No, I don't.
Really?
I'll send you a name in the chat. Libratus.
And it's been a long time since I've written any SQL. I know this isn't right as far as like where to do line breaks and stuff. Okay, equals. I guess it's species ID underscore ID, right? And that's what it's called everywhere.
It's species underscore ID, yeah.
Okay,
and
then
let me look at dinosaur. It is species underscore ID, yeah.
Okay, so we'll do this. That look good to you?
Where species name? Okay, yeah. Hopefully it's not a 1-to-1, because then it's going to be so unexciting.
Where did you send the species type that we're going to look up?
In the private chat here.
Okay.
I'll send 2 so we can test 2 different ones.
Libratus. Okay. Well, that was fast. Let's see how many there are. Here, let's change that so I don't have to keep doing that. So we'll do count dinosaurs length, and then we will do dinosaurs as an array. That looks good. Let's run that again. Okay, so there's 2 dinosaurs. That's really nice.
I think Celestai will have more.
That's
the second
fast. 248 milliseconds.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So go try the other one.
Send me another one? Okay.
Yeah. I think that one has more.
Okay.
Because that one's ID 1. Nope, I lied.
1. 1.
Yeah, don't.
I don't know the count. I guess I could just run. I guess I could just do that. I can make one of these endpoints in here. Oh no. And just get the species and print those out. Just close this off.
So select all from species.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh yeah, okay. I see what you're doing.
Good restful practices is what I'm doing.
Proud
Oh
of you.
no. Okay. What did we do wrong? Okay.
Select. You did from dinosaur, and you're joining species.
I don't know. Let's see if that resulted in an error. I guess I don't have any try catches, but I would have assumed something would have printed out. Something should have happened here. And I'm wondering if actually now, okay, this is my bad here. This is an express thing. Let's define that one before we.
Oh, order match. Okay, order match. It's matching on the first one.
Yeah. Nope. Lied.
Hey, worth a shot.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that wouldn't. It doesn't look like it's even making it in here. Huh.
Facing.
Okay, well that's fascinating. I'm just gonna restart. I'm gonna restart Express and
turn it off and turn it back on. That's the way to go.
Nah.
Getting some good facts.
Wonder why that doesn't work. I guess it doesn't really. Okay. So we put this in Lambda?
Yeah.
So we try to get this
I
thrown
think
in
that's
Lambda.
but you should pop up the the great fact by Berry DK. Can you pop it open in the screen? Yeah.
Yeah.
Humans live closer to the time of the Triceratops, and the Triceratops lived to the time of the Stegosaurus. Look at that.
Whoa.
That changes my whole way of living now.
What? I feel like the Magic School Bus lied to me when I was a kid. I'm confident I remember those two interacting with each other in that dinosaur episode.
I mean, I only believe what I see in Jurassic Park. All right, the new ones.
Were they both in there in Jurassic Park? Jurassic Park wasn't in time traveling though. That was let's just take all the dinosaurs there ever were and shove them on an island.
That's true. Taking their DNA. They got their DNA from Dr. I can't remember his name. From the little bee or the mosquito. You remember that? I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
Yes, from the mosquito and the amber.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get it in Lambda function.
Lambda is what we were doing. Let's do
Yes.
that. Okay, let me bring this side nav back. Let's do index.js. I think we can actually do most of this like wholesale inside of Lambda, but I guess we don't need a secret just because we've already exposed this time and time again.
Hopefully you don't think that way in your job. Like, it's already exposed. Let's just put it everywhere. It's fine.
Well, I actually don't know what to do here, so we're gonna see on the fly how to make this work. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I've never done a Lambda function with Express. So
I don't think this is it.
yeah,
I really don't think this is gonna be it, but we'll. No, I think it all has to be defined inside of that main handler.
Yeah, I'll get you.
I don't know, but I don't know.
No, it doesn't seem to. Handler.
No?
There's a serverless HTTP package that we could use. Interesting.
So did I do it right? Did I do the listen inside of the main execution here?
Start server. Let me see where this start server's being called. I'm just looking at an example. No, it's just starting server at the root. And then there's a handler with another handler. It's exporting a handler and then... no, I don't like this example.
I'm going to go ahead and do the initial deploy.
Yeah, everything seems to be using... So let me go in the file, Alan. And I'm going to add some code that's commented so I don't break your stuff that you're trying to do. So I'm in app.js. Where are you? API.js.
I'm all over the place.
Okay, you're already building SAM.
Yeah, might as well.
Index handler, you didn't name the file index, you named it API. Okay, you got a functions index. I see you.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and deploy these things. I don't want to confirm changes. Yes, let Sam create the role. It's not disable the rollback, something fails. Yes, that's fine. It has no auth. And yes, let's save that to the...
Please don't follow us for guidance on security practices in this live stream.
We're not here to be secure.
But somebody following this is like, okay, let's just put it. I just want to make sure that's not the standard practice.
What file are you in? What file are you messing around in?
API.js. I put something in the bottom. I didn't want to mess up the Lambda function while you're deploying.
Oh, okay.
So you can get an example there.
Serverless
from
HTTP. That's a new one for me.
both examples that I opened from Google use that. So
Okay, works for me. Let me install what I need to install. npm install express and serverless HTTP and at neon database /serverless.
so it's
Yeah, that'll be cool if this works first try.
second maybe.
I'm not gonna try to fix it.
Okay, I'll follow CloudFormation on my end. Where do I have that?
Okay, so you have this. Okay, let me go ahead and do that. Look at all the stuff that we're learning today.
Dino
Okay, I'm just gonna start
API. Is it at? Yeah, it's rollback, dude. The function URL does not exist in schema.
Function URL does not exist in schema for Lambda function. Oh,
It's code URI and handler, right? So there's code
oh
URI.
no, I really thought that was it. Oh,
And
do I not
then-
have? No, I have the transform on there for Sam.
You got, but handler. Okay, it is index. Why is it? Where's function
It's
URL?
this output that I'm looking for.
Oh,
I swear this worked before. This worked on another build that I did. I was just trying to
Let
make
me
it so I didn't
do-
have to go into the console to get it, but I mean, I'm fine.
AWS. I'll get it for you. Looking at the docs for the intrinsic functions or the
Okay.
return values.
Skill issue. Okay, I'm okay with that. Okay, so we have this. I'm gonna piece together all the things that we've done before. So we have.
It might be, and in the Believe in Serverless chat, I just created that account today. And remember, there's some limitations when you initially start an account. I don't know if this could be, I don't know, if function URLs might be one of it. I don't know. It feels,
This is my
I'm just trying
skeptical
to,
face.
I'm trying to make sense. If it worked for you before, but I don't see any return value from the documentation on the function resource.
Okay, I'll just take it out, and then we'll just have you look it up, and we can
Yep.
use that Postman. So we'll just take out that output value. It's annoying, but okay. And let me add this real quick. So in index, this is our function handler. We need to. What are we piecing together here? Okay. I'm gonna use this as a reference. We're gonna see. I don't think it's any different. No.
It looks the same. Oh, you fixed that. I didn't want to bring that up, but it was bothering me so much.
I am shocked you didn't call me out on something.
I had it.
Who are
I
you?
just keep going. It's fine.
Okay. I am concerned why this one, or I'm concerned that this one isn't working, but I guess it is what it is. So that looks then like it should be right. So let's try it. So we'll build that.
I'm keeping track of the metrics to see if at some point something interesting happens. RAM seems pretty standard. Ooh, we got up to 5 connections. Now we're down to 2. It's probably you or 1.
Yeah, I guess if I took long enough, it would
would have
all
gone
line
idle. And that's a good task. We can talk about a story or something so it winds down and it goes idle and see how much the cold start is.
like a double cold start, really, because you'd have the cold start from Lambda and the cold start from Neon. It didn't seem like it was slow when we were doing it through the console, but I guess
No.
that's all relative anyway, what's slow and what's
Let me
not.
check so right now the main is idle.
Okay.
I really like the music.
Okay, so I had to delete the stack because I got a failed deployment on the initial deploy, and it was in like rollback complete, and it won't try again in that
This is
state. So
one of the
we'll let that
features I
go.
really, really want from CloudFormation is just auto delete on rollback if it's the first deploy. It's usually a big issue, and mostly with ephemeral sandboxes, where it fails because we were playing around with it. It's going to fail at some point, but I just want it to auto delete. So I don't need to give access to the console to someone to delete the stack or something, because we're doing everything from GitHub. So it's just weird.
Yep. You know, I'm really just not happy that I can't figure this one out. It doesn't look like it. I don't know. Okay,
Yeah,
go look up
runs
what that function URL is, and we'll hit it. Please.
It's finished deploying. Okay, resources, API, function. Where does it give you the function URL? There it is. Function URL. It's there in the chat. Yeah, I didn't share it in the public chat, right? Okay. And you're just gonna paste it there, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. We're gonna try species, and we're gonna see if this one works. See what happens. Oh man.
That seems like 502 usually is access denied, but do you have the event on the Lambda function? No, this is the function URL, so it's not going through API gateway.
What was the dinosaur name? That's dinosaurs.
Libratus.
Let's try a different endpoint in there and see if that gives us anything different.
Triceps? Yeah, got my triceps going.
There we go.
I'm going to jump in the logs on my end.
Okay. So I guess that means we can't say that we got it first try. That's okay. Internal server error.
Reference error. Neon is not defined. We did not define neon.
Oh. Yeah. That one, okay. You mean this? This line?
Oh, yeah, that would be a problem.
Whoops. And this is the fun part about doing things live. Okay, so that will import neon. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go back to Postman, and I'm going to do species. And we're just going to get a list. But that's not even the right. That's not the right thing. Dang it. I'm going back to the local version. This should really just be select star from species.
Yeah.
Not that it still doesn't explain why nothing was coming back.
So you can rename dinosaurs to species if you want to be correct.
No.
That's okay.
This is the one that wasn't working before. This is really just doing a select all on everything, and it should have been, yeah, okay, so it has the species name in here. Okay, that worked. Hey, we did it. We created a Lambda list because we can also do, yes.
I wasn't raising my hand. I was going to point at my screen, but it automatically, I guess they have some WebSockets or something. I'm in the branches list, and it automatically showed active. I didn't have to refresh. I was going to refresh to see if it was active now. So when you made that query, it automatically went active for me.
And it wasn't, I mean, it didn't come back slow. It was, well, at this point, I'm already past. I already did another command. Dang it.
But you can go to the console and see the history of your requests.
Yeah, can you do that in VS Code?
I think there is.
I don't see it.
Oh, just go. There should be Postman console. There is in the terminal area. There's a Postman console. There you go.
Ooh, okay. So that was
Yeah.
All right, so that one was probably less than ideal. A second and a half. Now this
And
is
the Lambda was already, no, you just deployed the Lambda function. So let me
that
get
was definitely a cold start on that one. Let's run it again. Well, I guess we can.
Lambda function to close to 800 milliseconds total. Okay, hold on. Bill, an iteration was 353 milliseconds for the Lambda function. So still quite a hefty.
Yep. So that one was half a second to pull a response back. Second call was 373. Next call, it doesn't seem to be. I mean, it's getting a little faster, but it seems to be normalizing around 3.
Let me see if there's cache hits. Right, we're doing the same query. So I wonder if that package, the Neon package, is doing some sort of caching somewhere. But the metrics, the monitoring, does deadlocks. Nothing shows in the caching portion of this. No deadlocks, database size.
I kind of want to hit this with a bunch of load. I want to see what it does.
Yeah, and another test we can do, Ellen, is one with a hot Lambda, we can change the connection to the dev one that I have that's idle right now, and see what happens.
See what happens with the response times.
Yeah, just to okay, now intentionally we're idle.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this then. I don't think I can. Let's create a new collection.
Let's see. Do you get a query log on the Neon console? Let me check that out, Sam. So overview. I'm gonna navigate, and if I find it, I can share my screen. There's the usage.
It doesn't look like I have access to the load testing capabilities of Postman from inside of VS Code.
Ooh.
But that's fine. I'll just open it up,
Postman.
and we can share that. I just created a collection, so it should be available.
So we'll walk through. There's a lot of integrations that they offer already. It's good to take a look there. I don't see anything, Sam, in regards to like history. I see start compute, suspend compute. So I can see. Look at. Okay, Alan. Let me do. I guess you have my screen there. We can pop it open. It does. So Sam, it doesn't keep a log of all the queries that happen, but more infrastructural stuff. So you can see the start compute at mounted time, so at 2:19, which lines up probably when the successful query went, and we can get it took 159 milliseconds to start up. So the startup plus the query, and that's where I don't know where we can get those metrics on query performance, right? We could add metrics in the Lambda function to pump out metrics or observability or segments and traces and stuff to better calculate that on the query itself.
Okay, we're going back to Postman real quick. That is. Let me see how to zoom in. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I have just the list endpoint in this collection. I can do multiple. I don't think it's necessary, but I'm going to do the performance test simulator. So I'm going to say, if we run up money on your free account, this is what does it. Let's do Pete.
They don't have my credit card, so I'm good. Just do it.
Simulate a fixed load for 4 users for 2 minutes. Then no. Let's just fix it. Okay, so we're gonna pretend like there's 20 people hitting this API. I guess let's do it for like 2 minutes, and then we'll see what happens. 20 virtual users repeatedly running the collection in parallel for 2 minutes. Sound good?
Let's see my connection count.
Yeah. All right. Now you can't hear it, but my laptop now sounds like a jet engine as it has spun up all these processes hitting this endpoint. It seems to be doing okay, though. I mean, it's pretty consistent.
There was a big one. What's the spike there at the beginning?
That was probably the cold start time. 492. Yes, this was sending. Okay, right now it's sending 12 requests a second. Average
connection count. Connection count just went boom. Just went all the way up.
What is that?
Right now it's at 5 from 1, but it's taking a second to catch up. Oh, you're sharing again. Yeah. Okay, cool. So here is the connection count. So you can see the big spike right now with your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else seems pretty stable though. Let's see, RAM still pretty low. You can see a slight boost.
Does it show anywhere like peak stuff, like what it got up to?
Doesn't seem to be anywhere just like, hey, look at this. This is last hour. So connection count. So you can see here 6. So this to me makes me think it's reusing. Did you define the connection outside of the handler?
I did.
Okay, so it's probably reusing connections where it's not super spiky.
Should we try to break it? And
yeah,
sure. We try to. Yeah. All right. Let's do that. Is there any way?
So here's and something I wanted to point out. These integrations, right? So you can see with Vercel, Polyscale, but like for logging, you can send the logs to Datadog, New Relic, Sentry. They have like tools on top of this. Not going to go too deep into this, but it might get more information out of the like metric logs and stuff that you want out of this. So you can see Cypress, GitHub. But go put the connection inside of the handler so we can get 12 connections per second, see what happens.
Okay, so what I am going to do, I think I'm still sharing Postman. So let me switch back to VS Code.
So performance, yeah, cool.
So I'm going to create a new endpoint just called break. And what I'm going to do in here is, I guess we'll initialize SQL 2.
And just do the dinosaurs query?
No, I want to join all the tables.
Okay, I like it.
Okay, so we're going to do select star from dinosaurs. D. Can you tell me what the table names are?
So we got species, hold on, period.
Species ID, right?
Species ID is on both dinosaur and, yeah. And then we got join period.
What else? Just give me the table names.
Period, naming, location.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to put a period on here. Okay. All right.
Classic.
That's pretty funny. That's like a who's on.
Wait. Period is period ID.
And that, okay. All right.
And then D sense. And from the dinosaur table is also period ID.
Okay. What else?
Then we got location.
Is it location ID?
location underscore ID on location table and location underscore ID on the dinosaur table. Oh,
This
you're
is a
getting
nice
faster.
intuitive naming convention.
So then naming has naming ID.
Naming like this?
Yeah, it's who named it. Who named the dinosaur?
Do we know? I'm gonna.
And actually,
I don't
Alan, we don't have that field on the dinosaurs, so ignore that one. We don't have a way to join.
Okay, what else? Anything else?
Location, naming, period, species, taxonomy. It's taxonomy ID and taxonomy underscore ID on both.
Oh, I just spelled it twice in a row without making it a mistake, which means you know what's about to happen.
It's gonna work, I hope.
Oh no, I thought I was gonna misspell it when I was doing the join. Okay, so we have that. No reason to not just run that, right?
Well, you got to return it, right? Yeah. Count and then dinosaurs. Cool. You are using SQL 2. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Sam build,
So
Sam deploy.
let's do that. Okay, so that's just running a big join across everything. That will get cached, and that's probably also not like a super heavy query to run anyway.
I'm not seeing anything in the cache monitoring, like any buffer cache hit rate. There's nothing there.
So what do you think is going to happen here if I just do without doing the load test? Because we're going to hit it first just to make sure that it actually does something.
I feel like we're going to get 429s or something that I'm exceeding my free tier. I don't know how many connections the free tier gives me. It's probably limited, but it doesn't say anything about it. So
I'm wondering then if that's the case. I don't know if this throws an exception or if this does, like, if this returns an error. So I'm
like Postgres directly, because you're running SQL, but we're using Neon, so I'm assuming there's some sort of wrapping around errors, I would hope, from a package provided by them. Like regularly, if like Box API, right? If you use their SDK, they have standard retries when you hit 429 with backoff built into the SDK, similarly to AWS SDK, right? So I would hope there's some sort of handling internally for that.
You would hope.
I would hope.
You never know, though. I mean, they just went GA, like, what was it, Wednesday this week?
Yeah.
And it's not going to be completely feature complete like you would see in the references that you were just describing. Probably not, anyway.
Okay. So, Sam, we're burning the world before we want to live in it. So his suggestion there it is. There was a toggle to enable socket pooling on the console, but we're going the other way around. We're trying to. Do you want me to turn that on? I can turn that on. Let me.
Well, it's already off, right?
Yeah. So if you switch to my screen, it's adds a pooler flag to the connection string, but we would need to change the connection string. Do you want to try that, Alan, or do you want to?
We can change it in a minute. Let's change it in a minute. I want to see what happens if we just do it as is.
Cool.
Right now, because yes, I do want to do that and see the difference that it makes. Okay, so let's try this.
The main branch is currently active, right? So it's still active. So we'll not hit that. I mean, we're not trying to get the cold start time right now. So it worked.
Yep. So that was 1.29 seconds round trip. Let's hit it again. 456. Ooh.
So
okay.
But look at all the handshake and all that stuff. That's taking quite a bit. Transfer start. But yeah, still not ideal. Like on my normal day-to-day, that's probably fine. We're trying to shoot for lower than 1.5 seconds. So it's still under the expected, but for more critical workloads, 800 milliseconds might be not good.
I agree. You're also going to have to, I mean, keep in mind, this is just the API side. Like when you're talking about app development, you're still going to have to wait for the content to render in your user interface.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, it's not a ton of records, but it is still 309 records with a lot of data in it.
We could paginate,
So that's going to take,
and see if there's a difference.
No time. Okay. I'm gonna switch back to Postman real quick. So here's your screen. Are there any analytics that we want?
Okay, so let's see the monitoring. Let's get the latest there. Everything pretty stable as far as RAM. You can see the connection peak. We got the 1, I guess, from the request you just did. Database size, nothing that just catches my eye. So we're still the same boat here.
Okay, so you feel good? I'm gonna switch back. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I need to update this collection. Break it. Okay, I'm gonna just test to make sure. Okay, we do get a response. All right, so let's go back. A lot of things that I have open in here. Okay. This, we're going to...
You did not save the request, by the way.
Yeah, it turns out I was editing the request inside of VS Code, not in...
Oh.
Funny. Okay. Close this, close. Click on the collection, run. Performance test. Here we go. How many does it let me do? 200. I have a developer machine.
Test duration 2 minutes. Okay.
We have liftoff. My laptop. I learned my lesson from last week when it completely crashed. I put a book underneath it, like right in the middle, so there's at least air that can get to the fan a little bit easier underneath.
Oh yeah. I have my laptop lifted with a little stand. How many requests have come through?
1,000. But look, we started off with errors. Probably when it was scaling.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see if I can search anything in the Lambda function.
How good are you with CloudWatch Insights? Not?
How are we I just do add message like error and look something for something like that.
That's fine. Look, we're still getting them.
Interesting. It says trying to scale again. I don't see any, like the connection count. Oh, there it is. We're up to 10. It's getting there. It's getting there. So let me go to log insights over here.
So this is hitting Neon with, you can see right here on Postman, it was, you know, averaging 64-ish requests a second, which isn't that much. I don't know. I guess
filter.
I guess that's very relative. It's very subjective. But what is that many? I wouldn't expect the service to be failing at that if it's touted as serverless. I guess. Yeah, there you go, Andres. It was a 429.
It is? Yeah, imagine.
But I don't know what that 429 is coming from. Is that coming from the function URL? Or is that coming from Neon? Because it should have, if it was coming from Neon, then I wrapped that in a 500. It should have been returning a 500.
I guess it's going to take a while to get to log insights. I'm still seeing just the Neon not defined. Let's take a look at the monitoring dashboard. We capped at 10 connections.
Which is that a limit?
And
how many we have?
We actually see something. There's more of the CPU being used, but still under the 25. This is still at the same. and no other peaks. Let me refresh one more time. So it doesn't tell me anywhere if there's a limit to how many concurrent connections you can have as far as the free tier, but it seems to me like it's capping it at 10.
Yep. Interesting.
It's funny that it says idle 10, but not truly. Total idle. None of them show active. I don't think this is
Yeah, that might not be
accurate.
right. And something I just realized just now is we're just testing read capacity. All we're doing is fetching data. We're not doing anything with inserts or updates on data at all.
But yeah, you can see, is the test done?
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, you can see, boom. So it was probably the 2 minutes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so we hit it in that 2 minutes. We hit it with 4,850 total requests. So I'm gonna guess that 429 or the set of 429s. Let me see the breakdown if it has that in Postman. I'm gonna guess it doesn't have it. That those came from the function URL.
Well,
if I was a gambling man, I think it probably was that. Like that might have been Lambda scaling.
I'm not getting much exit error.
What are you looking at right now?
Trying to get errors from the Cloud Insights. I can put this tab on the one you can see. So here it is.
Okay.
Ooh, this is so bright.
Ooh, man.
Is there dark mode for CloudWatch? Let's see.
There should be. I didn't think it was specifically CloudWatch. I thought it was like the whole console you could turn into dark mode.
They started doing like one by one, and then I don't know if they did them all. But, oh well. Not while you're here. So I'm trying to get anything where error, runtime, exit error. And this is the neon is not defined. So I'm not getting any new ones from 118. So we're trying to find something closer to our timestamp. They're not flowing in yet.
Okay, so in the meantime, while we wait for that, because that's not fun to watch, I'm going to
check metrics for Lambda. Okay, so Sam is saying if the 429 is Lambda, we won't see him in the logs, but we would see him here.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we got throttle, 83 throttles from Lambda. So yeah, good call, Sam.
Nice.
Ooh, 1,000 implications.
Another thing that we learned today. That was very useful.
Yep. Nope. Yeah, here are the errors. Cool.
Okay, so how about we do this? Let's test write capacity, because that's fun.
Yeah. Now,
I am not going to be brave enough to try to create new dinosaurs with referential integrity and all that. We only have like 15 minutes left on the stream. So what we can do instead is I'm going to create this host to /species, and we're just going to create a new one with the value that was passed in. Sound good?
I like that.
Cool. And then I'd really like it if it had the ID, if it came back with the ID.
We'll see. Right, with the import, we provided the ID, so I haven't done an insert. I don't know if it's auto incrementing that ID for us. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, and I also don't know. So we'll try and we'll see. It doesn't. Yeah. Let's find out. Why don't you actually? You know what? Let's just go right now to the Neon console. Why don't you just run that command, and we'll see.
Can you send
We'll
me the
see
command?
if it does that. Yeah. So I will send you the command, and you can.
I guess it's just insert into species.
Yep. And then in parentheses, species name. Species
Hello.
underscore name.
Oh, okay, I need to species
Underscore name. Yep. And then after that, nope, leave it. And then values.
Man, I don't remember any of this.
And then in parentheses, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, sure. We'll call it test. Sure. All right, let's see.
Duplicate key.
So it does not have that. Annoying.
Okay.
So then we'll have to modify that with the species.
I think it's 310. Let me check that. All right, so we got species. Yeah. SQL editor. Run. One query.
Okay, great. So species ID. Okay, let me flip back to my code real quick. And then we have that, and then we'll do, I guess we'll
do like a loop. Just do a loop, and
I'm just gonna do random.
Yeah.
It's, what is it? Do you remember? Do you remember how to use math.random?
Why don't you let Copilot or Code Whisperer take it up?
Fine.
Take it up.
Okay. All right. Const generated ID equals math dot random. I really thought I was going to do that. Okay, that's fine.
It's math.random, and you can specify range, right?
Yeah. We're just going to say times a million. And we're going to hope that that doesn't collide with anything.
Cool.
When you did that in the console, did you pass in an integer? Right? It wasn't a string, right?
Yeah, it was an int.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so what we'll do is we will ship that out of here, and then inside of Postman, species, post, body, raw, JSON, name, random. There's usually IntelliSense on this.
I'll check Postman random name or something.
I think they have something like random nonsense that we could probably use, or like random business name.
Dynamic variables GUID, random UUID, Boolean abbreviation, IP, locale, protocol, job area, job type.
There's not like random BS.
Business, database,
Pretty sure.
domains, files and directories, stores, grammar, randoming verb, random adjective, random word.
Probably
but it's
not
several.
random enough, honestly. Random word.
There's random text.
I updated the wrong file. I have to redeploy. It's annoying.
Yeah, there's a random word. Postman.
Okay, then what's the UUID one? Let's do that.
UUID is random UUID, I'm assuming. Let me just search random UUID. Yeah.
In all caps, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll save that. We'll see if that works. So we'll be creating a new species, and hopefully it's going to give us a 200 back. Sorry, I forgot to change the status to 201.
Oh, Alan.
You know what I'm going to do? While that's deploying, I'm going to change that status to 201 so you don't get really mad. And then next time, when we inevitably have to make a change, that status will be at 201.
Sweet.
Okay. Ah, that sucks.
What do we do?
What did I want to make sure that we actually sent? Well, did we actually send a random UUID? No. Oh wait, these are with. Maybe that's why I didn't get IntelliSense. That's why I didn't get IntelliSense. I was using string interpolation.
But we also got your 1 million is too much. We got an integer out of range.
That good?
I guess so. Can't count zeros that fast, so let's try it.
1, 2, 3. 1 million is too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 million is not too much for integer out of range.
No, that should work.
Okay. And on the bright side, I probably did that on purpose because now it's going to deploy and return the 201 on create instead of the 200.
The right
I knew
way.
that was going to bother you, and we weren't going to be able to claim this as a successful test until it returned the right status code. Okay, so that's going to go. I need to just get rid of this window. This one. There we go. Okay. So frustrating to see that internal service error.
Will you want to try? Yeah, to return the error. Well, it was neon, right? Hopefully you have schema validation on your APIs or something. That's weird.
That's not an integer.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what to think. I have no idea what to think now.
Let me look at the Neon console, see what the data looks like. It was species, right?
Yeah.
Assume it's so the species name was undefined, and we got 5244493 as the ID.
So you're saying we're just passing in? Maybe this is no.
Let me look at the. I don't think we're printing the event.
Maybe it's a $sign.
Oh, no, yeah. Let me check.
This sounds like another skill issue.
It's curly bracket $sign. Yes.
Okay.
Definitely skills.
Thank you for that.
Hey, I was here. I didn't catch it, so I blame both of us. You got an ID though. We're not doing a null check. We're not doing a null check on the Lambda function.
So wait, I'm sorry. Did you say the ID was an integer? Did it get parsed to an integer? Or
yeah. So the ID is 52. It's the first part of that. Yeah.
And so it didn't error on us when we passed that into it. Okay.
No. So it actually saves, but the species name is undefined.
Okay. So then we'll update this one really quick. Okay, let's send that. Okay, so we got that.
Let me refresh on my end.
Okay, I'm gonna share your screen real quick.
Ah, still undefined.
Is it?
But it's still loading. It's putting data in there, so we can still test even with our lack of SQL skills.
Of all things. Well, that must be a data issue, or like that's a code issue then, because it did actually pass.
It's saved.
a UUID in there.
Rec body name.
It was supposed to have done that, but
you don't have the post doesn't have a name in the it's in the body. Huh. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh well. Honestly, it doesn't matter. What we want to see is how it handles a bunch of writes at the same time. So let's do that real quick, and this will probably be the last thing that we do.
We can do that and then try and nail down a pooling one. But if we're out of time, it's fine.
Oh yeah, we can do that. We can do that. All right, let's do this real quick. All right, Postman. We have break it, which is now a post, and we're going to be passing that in.
Mark says rest purist. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, run performance fixed. We'll do 100 again for 2 minutes. Let's see what the writes do.
Last one you did 1,000.
No,
didn't you?
I was pretty sure it was 100. No, it couldn't have been 1,000.
Well, the Lambda function executed 1,000 times. Here's the peak.
Let's see what this does. Let's see if we get similar results. And then afterwards, I'm going to go back in this recording and watch it and send the clip to you that shows that I did 100.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, let me go back to the Neon console and I'll keep track of this.
So we started with errors. 429. Be expected. Because that's the Lambda scaling.
The interesting thing here is Lambda is scaling. Well, Lambda is preventing us from hitting the Neon database so much, right? Because it's taking a while to scale. So initially, Neon is fine because Lambda is not scaling as fast. But once Lambda is up to scale, would Neon be the one that fails? I don't know.
So this is much, much faster than the get, which makes sense. We're also reusing the connection again. I forgot to declare that every time. Forgot to do bad practice.
Oh yeah, I got 8 connections. Still kind of capping at 10, so it feels like we're still... Connection count just went to the bottom. Did we kill it?
No, it's still going. It says it has
nice.
Decent amount of time left.
Okay, now it's back up.
Fast. It's real fast. Do all these inserts.
Ooh, Rose spiked in my graph if you want to show. So here's Rose. We have 2,910.
Yeah, we've just added 8,500 8,500 species, probably all undefined names, but just with different IDs.
And let's see the RAM CPU. This is spiking up a little bit too, but not concerning. I see, Mark. Yes.
Yeah.
Usually I try to hide the 500s and return a 200 with the status code.
I just return a 400 and say it was probably you.
There should be like a question mark status code. It's like, who was it? We don't know. So we're at 5,000, but everything's. Hopefully in the future there's like I want to see kind of like the Lambda monitoring where you see throttles and stuff, because I don't know if we're actually going to get throttled or not, right? And I don't know. Here's a spike, probably the max. It's winding down as far as connections go. 5,000. Yep. Is it done?
They handled it really well. Now, granted, it was those were really small rows that we were adding.
Yeah. We're just testing.
But it did handle that. What we were sending 76 requests a second on that, right?
I think this graph malfunctions every now and then, and it shows 0. It's like, I'm like, did it finally die? And no, I think it handled it well. That's cool. Yeah, so no new records coming in. What do you want to do next, Alan? Do you want to try the? I guess we're at 2 hours
No,
now.
we gotta wrap.
Yeah,
We are
cool.
at time. So that was, I think it did really well. All
did.
things considered, like actually using it. And now, granted, we were not writing production code. We weren't even pretending to write production code. But as far as like Lambda's concerned, I really think the implementation, maybe we just shoved that connection string in a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's giving you everything, and it's giving it to you protected. So now you can abstract it, secrets, SSM param, even environment variable if you want. But that's it to get it into a Lambda. So that's nice.
I agree. I agree. And so, the trade-off there, well, that is much nicer. We're going to say that. I've never used Aurora, but I do know that Aurora requires a VPC around that Lambda function to connect to it. And that was a lot easier than setting up a VPC. So, big fan of that. It seemed to scale okay. At least with the apps that you and I wrote together in years past, we never really got to 76 requests a second every second.
Yep.
And we might have peaked past that, but on average, it was okay. I still can't in my heart say that I feel like it's truly serverless given the way that it's priced and the way that it's built.
But if you're currently managing a database, it's managing more than what you're used to, right?
Yeah.
And again, the VPC part and all that stuff. It's like back to it. It's maybe serverless is strong of a word there, but like the OpenSearch debacle, it's like it's still better. It's still handling more, but it's still not full serverless. It's more managed. It's what I call those.
More managed. Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I want to mess around with it more. We probably won't do it on the show, but I want to mess around with it more and work with it in a way that's not prone to SQL injection attacks, where I'm not just writing the SQL commands and then just doing string interpolation of the things that came in off a query parameter. For obvious reasons, right? I do want to see like the right way to do it. But
probably stamp some observability on top of it and get the real metrics around every piece of this to see how much truly is Neon versus Lambda cold start versus if it's hot, right? Just getting those metrics would be good.
And one of the things that we didn't really mess around with, and I don't even know if it was a thing, was the access management. Like, I don't know if we can generate different connection strings that are read only versus write only.
There are roles. So there is a role.
Okay.
There is a role portion where it's just I'm trying one route right now. So just to close that loop, it gives you a different password. And you can download it, but it doesn't seem to give you like permissions, just read only versus write.
It'll probably get there.
Yeah. Something to take a look at. Yeah.
So overall, would you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down for the service, Neon in general?
I like it. It was simple. I've been out of the relational world for a while and SQL and all that, and we were able to get up to speed pretty quickly. And it's all managed for me. So I can easily, if I wanted to create an app that uses this, I wouldn't be scared.
Me neither.
So I like it.
Me neither. Yeah. Which I don't know how I feel about myself saying that. I've just been NoSQL for since like 2018 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's good to know that the tooling and the services that are available today are as easy.
It seems to have a lot of integrations, and there's a lot of good stuff that can come out of for the CI/CD pipelines, right? As we mentioned, you can branch out. The branching thing, that's mind-blowing for me. That just seems, I never thought about that, but that's pretty cool.
Like, it is cool. It is cool. Somebody said in the comments in the beginning when we were fangirling over it, is that it's a snapshot. That's all it is. And I mean, that's not That's not wrong. It's branded in a much cooler way, which made me as a developer think, yeah, sweet.
Well, I think it's mostly a user experience on top of that then, right? It feels to something that's not foreign to me because I use GitHub every day. I know how to branch. My expectations from that branch are different because of GitHub, right? I was expecting to be able to merge that branch. That it doesn't go that far.
I guess that's why they say one of the 2 hardest problems in computer science is naming things.
Yeah.
If you name it the wrong thing, then it's like, oh, it's a snapshot. But name it a branch, and it's like, oh, I'm all over that.
Ooh,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, thank you everybody for hanging around. This has been I learned a ton.
Me too. Yeah.
Super fun. Thumbs up from me for Neon and Postgres in general. I did like that. That was nice. Yeah. Yes. Thumbs up. All right. Cool. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Andres and I are going to do this pretty much every Friday, same time, 1 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock PM UTC. Right. And I think, what are we doing next week? Next week, we're working with step functions, and we're going to be building a summer vacation planner. So we'll fill out a Google form, and then we'll expect an email very shortly after that. That's going to give us our itinerary, how much it's going to cost, all that fun stuff using generative AI, step functions, the HTTP integrations, all that fun stuff. I think that'll be good. All right, cool. So until then, everybody have a good weekend. Thank you for Europeans who are watching us late on a Friday night. Or probably really fun to watch if you've been drinking, honestly. But anyway, thank you. Shout out special to Serverless Guru for letting us use their StreamYard account. Appreciate that. New sponsor of Believe in Serverless. So we appreciate you. Jonathan's been behind the scenes the whole time. You can't see him. Me saying his name was my attempt to draw him out, but it doesn't look like that's working. So there he is. There he is. Thank you, Jonathan.
I've been summoned. Yeah, of course. I even went to make sure I got my
nice
sweatshirt. Stole this from my girlfriend, so it doesn't even fit me. I'm not even gonna show you the rest of it. That's like way too tight on Marketplace. So this is a lot of fun. Yeah, great. Of course. Yeah. I didn't have to mention that, but now that we're here.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Jonathan.
Of course.
I think it's our first successful one. We'll see.
Yes, very successful.
That's awesome.
Right.
I'm looking forward to the next one, guys. Thank you.
All right. Yep. Thank you. All right. Until next week. See you guys.
See ya.